Akaash was at the
wedding.
Yeah, what would you say in terms of history? I'm sure there's like royal weddings that were talked about, but they didn't happen in the social media age.
Yeah.
The energy around this wedding.
It was like trending.
Yeah.
This was our royal wedding.
Okay.
Like when Meghan married Harry.
Yeah.
And we were all talking. This was that for Indians.
Yeah.
And way more opulent because you didn't have to do it in the castle.
That's the other thing. I feel like this was bigger.
Oh, much more. They spent $600 million.
The reason why I think it was bigger in terms is they could flex in a... What's the word that
the Royals have to do it in a certain way. You can't really
have to be dignified.
It was on TV in America, the Royal Wedding. We were watching that shit.
Sure. But this shit was on social and TikTok in a way.
They're also allowed to flex more.
Exactly.
Like the flex culture is like, it's sort of encouraged, whereas like with British aristocracy, flex culture is like described.
Yeah.
But I hear what Al's saying, like, yes, it was this huge moment. This is by far the biggest non-royal wedding in history.
Yes.
It felt royal.
Yeah.
You get the invite to go.
Yeah.
I need to know like a few things right off the bat, and I want you to tell me all the stories.
Go.
How many people are at this event?
9,000 the first day that I was there. About
Keep going.
I heard the Sunday they were expecting 20,000. I didn't feel like it was that much more crowded on the Sunday.
Okay.
Maybe we're all just tired.
So there's 9,000 people at this thing, and then as it goes on, maybe more and more people are invited.
Correct.
I imagine you're invited to the whole thing.
To all the three. I wasn't invited pre-wedding, obviously, but all 3 days events, I'm invited.
Okay. And then it's more exclusive earlier and then gets...
So yeah, that's what, yeah.
Okay, you're invited to all. Your head going into this, are you thinking like, where are they going to seat me? You know how like there's that...
A little bit, but I try to remind myself a month before this, if you told me at the pre-wedding that I was going to be invited to the wedding, I would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. There's no way.
Is this like, I'm trying to understand culture. Is this like if Jay-Z and Beyonce got married in America? Like
it's hard.
Or is it even bigger?
They're not famous like Bollywood stars are famous, but they're like, imagine Bill Gates really wanted to flex his wealth and then married another super rich person and then they happen to be friends with all the Hollywood celebrities from childhood and they're all at this wedding.
Okay. So you go. There's 9,000 people.
Yeah.
Are you in like a different area? Because it seemed like you were rubbing...
No.
Okay.
Everybody... So first of all, I've been trying to... From the moment I got in, I was like, how do I describe this to the boys?
Yeah.
And it's so big that it's hard to wrap your mind around.
Where is it
at? It's at a convention center. The entire convention center is dedicated to this wedding.
Okay.
Every floor. And it's like... It almost feels like a fucking metroplex. Like each floor is its own little city. Mm-hmm. And you're walking through what look like beautiful movie sets. Sure. Like there's that, you remember that movie I had you watch, Gangubai?
Yeah.
Like that old India. There's one floor where you're walking and it feels like old India.
That's fine.
And you're seeing people play sitar. If you hear music, it is done live. There was no music. Everything is live. You're walking through, as soon as you walk in, it's just palatial. Like just high ceilings, beautiful carpet, decorations everywhere.
They've completely renovated this convention center.
Entire convention center is dedicated to this wedding.
What's parking like?
Oh, you don't even park. You just pull up. Like you're getting an Uber, you're getting a driver. They had a driver for me the whole weekend.
So everything for you is curated the entire time?
Yes, because they're so on it. Like I said, they curate everything. They took care of the flights. They took care of the hotel. They took care of the car. I just have to be there.
Wow.
You're getting a driver to and from every event.
You show up for the first day?
Yeah.
Is there seating? Is it just everybody?
So the first event, do you remember when I did the Bharat? Do you remember when we were in the parking lot of the Gurdwara and I was in a little tuk-tuk and you? So the idea is you are a king and you are going to meet your queen. So the whole kingdom, which is your side, is out dancing and celebrating. That's the first thing I walk into. But with them, it's inside. Air conditioned, but it's like 9,000 people. And whereas my Bharat was like an hour and you're like, by the end of it, everybody in every Indian American wedding is like, come on, we're done. We're tired. This one was 4 hours, but you come and go as you please. We literally left in the middle, got chai, hung out for like 30, 40 minutes, then just walked back in. And this is the fucking craziest thing. You walk in, you see all these Bollywood stars. Beautiful. Like all of them look better in real life. But they are friends with this kid since childhood. So they're in the bridal party. They're all dancing in a little circle, no security around them. If you wanted to be an asshole, you could just bully your way into that. It's amazing nobody did it. But you can just bully your way into the dance circle, talk to everybody, give everybody high five. Like I'm looking at massive, massive stars, no security. We're all just there. Thousands of people.
How how many people there would you say were familiar with you and your work?
So a good number of people. One Bollywood actor actually came up to me and was like, "I'm a fan. I really like what you do."
That's awesome.
So, which was fire. Shouts to Ritesh Deshmukh. I really appreciated the love because that made me feel like, dude, one person knowing me.
Yeah.
I'm unbelievable. So this other kid, Ranveer Alabadia, who helped, he's a podcaster, shouts to him, fan of the pod, and this pod as well, helped me get there. He was like, I'm telling you a lot. So I got recognized a good amount.
Him, right?
Yeah, I did a pod with him.
Beer Biceps?
Beer Biceps is his IG handle.
Yeah.
But he told me, a decent number of people approached me, and he was like, honestly, a lot more would have, but there's like
a respect thing here.
Yeah, and there's like the weird thing with you as like an NRI, meaning you don't live in India.
Yeah.
They look at you a certain way, like he's not as approachable.
Right,
so there's actually even more people.
You're like
and
a Kardashian.
There's a huge flagrant fan base. Like
sick.
Huge.
That's fire.
So many people, like by childhood friends, are like, "Yo, we love Flagrant. We tune in all the time." So like
Respect.
fans, shouts to them. They were so sweet.
Mud Gang.
They don't mind the jokes.
Love it.
Clearly.
Love it.
And it was cool because I thought all his childhood friends would be like kind of pretentious assholes. It felt like a whole family vibe the whole time. Celebrities, dude, there's one guy, his name is Karan Johar, and I want to shout him out because like, you know how women love the Titanic here in America? Mm-hmm. This director, he's not even an actor, director. He's directed like 6 movies like that women love that much. So I saw this guy literally every 20 seconds in the Bharat, a girl asked him for a selfie. And every single time, great energy, take the selfie, get back to it.
Yeah.
Another guy, Varun Dhawan, my wife asked for a selfie. He takes a selfie, and I say to him, we're next to each other, I'm like, hey, man, thank you. That meant a lot to my wife. He puts his arm around me. He's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. I got a wife, too. I know what you got to do. You got to keep him happy. Something like that. It's loud. I can't hear him. I'm pretending I can hear him.
Yeah.
Dude, the fucking most embarrassing thing. I expected Bollywood stars to be there, so I'm kind of cool about it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Indian cricketers to be there.
Oh, wow.
Game over.
So this guy, Hardik Pandya, he's the one that you said can't be Indian because he's so swaggy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He walks by, I swear to God, he's this close to me. I'm maybe here. He walks by, I look up, I see him, I go, Hardik Pandya! I scream his name. He did me the fucking courtesy of pretending he didn't hear me, but I had to grab myself and be like, you're 40, dude. What the fuck are you doing?
Now, we're allowed to lose it for athletes, man. Come on.
I realize athletes are different, but I was like, this kid is at least 10 years younger than you. This is a child to you. Why are you screaming like that at him?
Funny.
It was so fucking embarrassing. But it was just like, dude, I couldn't believe how cool the vibe was and how cool everybody, no pretension. It was a fucking awesome experience that first day especially.
Where were the Western famous people situated? Like, is Kardashian near you? Who else is there?
I didn't see Kim. John Cena I missed, but I know John Cena was in the Bharat. He was dancing. John Cena was in the mix. He was in the mix. Oh yeah, nobody could see him.
Yeah.
But he's in the mix. I know people that got selfies with him. He was in it.
Okay.
I didn't see the Kardashians. Whatever. I didn't see them at all, really. But we saw other Western famous people. Also, was fucking crazy. Again, I told you, if you hear music, it's being done live. I hear Calm Down, that Remy song. I look over, it's Remy doing Calm Down.
Wow.
Does 2 songs, leaves.
Fire.
Kenan, that other guy, he comes up, does 2 of his bangers, leaves. Another massive Indian rapper, AP Dillon, comes up, does 2 of his bangers, leaves. Like, if you hear a song that you like, it's the motherfucker that did the song doing the song.
Wow.
So that's what we're dancing to.
That's fire.
And again, I'm so happy to be here. I don't feel self-conscious. I'm dancing my ass off. I don't give a fuck who's looking at me. Y'all can judge me all you want to. You're not going to remember me tomorrow. You didn't recognize me in the first place. So I'm having the time of my fucking life that first day especially. Food is crazy, but the problem is in that Bharat, you're like walking with everybody and you're trying to I'm so mesmerized by these Bollywood stars. I'm like kind of trying to stay around them. So we missed all the fire food stands. There was like tiramisu with caviar, all this crazy shit. I missed all that, but that was the first day. You just saw everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, we're waiting for parking. This guy Salman Khan is there. He is
Salman Khan. Yeah.
top 3. Shahrukh is the one that I fucking would lose it over.
Shah Rukh Khan is the one I'm thinking.
He's the one he was there. I didn't see him, thank God for me. I met his son. Son is a very sweet kid. But I didn't, Salman Khan is top, he might just be as big, maybe. Top 2, 3 probably, top 5 of all time. He's just waiting for a car at gate 19 with me. Wow. I just see him kind of standing, no security, no nothing, just waiting, saying what's up to people, wearing like a fucking $900,000 watch or some crazy shit like that. Unfucking believable. Saturday event, so because the prime minister comes, if you get there after him.
Modi?
Modi shows up. If you get there after him, they don't let anybody in. Obviously, they actually take security seriously in India. So we didn't get to go to the actual like ceremony because we were like, he got there fairly quickly, and we assume Indian wedding. I'd be an hour late.
Oh no!
But then we go upstairs to this dinner area. They have food.
Wait, what was that conversation with you and your wife when you were late because she was getting ready and you missed out on the Prime Minister?
You know what? I didn't realize how many stars were going to be there. I would have been upset if I knew.
Yeah.
I thought we were all going to be late. And I was like, everybody's going to be late. Everybody's on time this one fucking day. So then I was tight afterward. But we
You
go
gotta
upstairs.
flip this and be like, nah, we were boycotting on behalf of the Punjab.
We're for the farmers.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're for the farmers, dude. So we go upstairs. And it's like, when I say they have food from Dubai and food from Singapore, I mean they have restaurants fly in.
This is cool. This is cool. You were telling me this,
and I'm assuming this is like Anand Bhai's favorite places. They have they have Italian food from a restaurant in Dubai. There's a guy, asshole as well, fan, from Singapore, has French food. The French food from Singapore is catering the thing. You go sit at a table, they bring you whatever you want to.
So
you take a look around.
The food from those restaurants is literally the people from those restaurants went there.
Which is in a giant ballroom. Cool. It's like 15 different restaurants with food.
Okay.
And outside of the ballroom, the entire hallway, 100 yards of desserts. They're making fresh waffles. They're making crepes. They got gelato. They got cupcakes with flowers on them and then edible flower petals. Like any fucking dessert you can fathom is there.
Is there any like Indian dudes like sitting cross-legged, mixing a soup with their feet and like real traditional street food?
No, not at all. They had Indian street food, but it wasn't traditional enough.
Oh, fuck.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the shit I like.
Yeah, no, that was a little authentic in that way. But then we go sit at the ballroom. This is when it's like, oh, this is fucking crazy, the caliber of people that I'm with. My wife and I are sitting at a table. We're alone. This sweet girl comes up. She's in her 20s. She's like, hey, is anybody sitting here? And we're like, no. And she's like, can my mom and I sit here? And we're like, of course, sit down. We start talking 20 minutes. She asks, how do you know Anant or Mukesh, whoever she says? And I'm like, I don't. I just don't. I'm like, I don't. And they're like, she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I got invited. I showed up. She kind of chuckles. I ask how you know the Anand Bhai, and she's like, oh, I know Mukesh. We like are on this board together. And I'm like, oh, okay. I ask, where do you live? She's like, oh, California and New York. So I'm like, okay, she's got some money. She asked me what I do. We start talking. I ask what she does. 20 minutes into the conversation, she goes, oh, we own teams, like sports teams. Not like arrogantly, very sweetly. It was like, oh, we own teams, sports teams. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, we own, I'm not going to say which team, but I'll just bleep it. She goes, yeah, we own, I go, which team? She goes, and I was like, shit. And then Jacelina's like, yeah, we've heard of them. Like, she's saying it like we haven't heard of it.
Big drop off from so.
Yeah.
You could say we own sports team.
You know what you know what's funny though is she's probably going to make the greatest ROI on the second one.
At what point did you look at your girl and be like, "It's pretty sick, right?"
Son, the whole time she was like, at the moment she was a little anxious at how like small fish we were, and I was like, "We're here.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
You're there.
Yeah, like this is just crazy. We're here. They don't need to know who I am. I'm here.
There's always
kick me out now.
There's always going to be somebody more wealthy. There's always going to be somebody more successful. But you gotta. It's good that you were able to stop and just be like, hey. A few years ago, we were living together with 3 roommates and Airbnb-ing.
Yeah.
To make ends meet, and now we are guests.
Yeah, insane. I mean, just an insane. Like, I really, of all the moments I've had, this is the number one I've made it moment in my life. And not to say I'm done or whatever, but like, this is a thing that I'm gonna remember forever. Outside of the craft and specials and all that, this is number one. Like, what a fucking...
The validation.
And as a kid who grows up outside of India, you're never really validated by India. And it means so much because to Americans, we're Indian.
Yeah.
And then we go there thinking we're Indian, and they're like, no, you're not. Yeah, you're American. You're American as fuck. Yeah. So that felt like, and then seeing Bollywood stars, it's like, imagine y'all grew up in China, and the only connection you have to America is Hollywood movies. Imagine if you went to America and saw Tom Cruise. Like, that's the level of what, oh my God, this is unbelievable. That's what I'm feeling. And then, we touched on this earlier, but like, I think it was also cool when we talked about Anant, when I saw him interacting with his wife. Genuine love. The pictures of them interacting, they're like giddy to be with each other. And that was fucking cool because like, this wedding is about the Ambanis establishing themselves on a global scale. It's about changing the perception of India. All these things are happening. But it's very cool that it's an actual love wedding. You know what I mean? Like, not a love marriage like they fell in love and they'll see if they can make it work. But they're like, they've been together since like high school, childhood friends, super in love. And it's like, this is just a fucking great experience all the way around.
That's fire.
Shout out you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You're
Appreciate
Illuminati
it.
now, bro.
Yo,
For
I
real.
can't. I'm so happy to be there.
shout
I've been
out
dreaming
you,
of selling
man.
out, and I'm very honored to be asked to do it.
Now, that wasn't the biggest event that you went to.
Yeah, you had